Welcome to the Logic and Life Coaching Podcast, episode 19.
Everyone wants happiness and success, and we know how to get you there. Come listen to the Leadership Society of Arizona as we teach a proven logic to help you simplify life, overcome challenges, and predict the future. You're listening to the Logic and Life Coaching Podcast. Welcome to the Logic and Life Coaching Podcast. My name is Chuck Solanas, and I'm joined by Dr. Jacob Kashiwagi. We're very excited to have you on. How are you doing?
Doing very good, Chuck. It's great to be here, just like last week.
Yes, it is. So we are going to talk about the Leadership Society of Arizona. As you may or may not know, Leadership Society of Arizona is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that teaches logic and leadership to high school students, actually across the country. So based off of their programs right now, they're offering online coaching as well as they offer online classes. They have the opportunity for students as well as professionals to learn these concepts to make them more successful in business and in their schooling. So we're really excited to have you on. I know that Leadership Society of Arizona has had a lot of success, but I want to know what makes them different. So what makes the Leadership Society of Arizona different from other success coaching or leadership organizations?
Wow, it's a good question. Okay, so I guess the main thing would be our philosophy. First thing is, one is we don't believe people need to be changed. And so when we're looking at helping people develop their leadership skills, we're not trying to teach them anything. We actually are, when we approach people and mentor people, we're actually trying to figure out what it is that they want, what it is that they're looking for, and helping to cultivate that within them. Believing that leadership is already, people are born with it. And everybody has a different type. And so the more that we can understand them, the better we can help them to bring out their leadership in them.
So how do you do that?
We actually do very little. See, because the amazing part about it is, for someone to develop leadership, they have to take accountability for their life. They have to take accountability for them. So the less I do, the more accountability that they have to take, which the better leader they become. The more I do, the more I'm taking the accountability because I'm the one making the decisions, telling them what to do, and the less accountable they become for their life. And so our philosophy is really unique in that we truly believe that in order for someone to develop and bring the leadership out of them, to become invisible. And so all of our coaches, all of our leadership experts, their main purpose is to become invisible. Almost like they're not doing anything and the other person is just developing and thriving, right?
I am having a hard time thinking of the difference between me talking to myself versus me talking with the Leadership Society mentor, based off of what you just said right there.
If that's the case, then we're doing our job. If it's like you looking in the mirror, oh my goodness, we're doing our job. Because here's the thing, is the more that we can get you to sort it out in your own mind, to bring out the ideas, to bring out the goals, to bring out what you need to be working on in your own mind, the more dedicated you're going to be to it, the more you're going to be able to achieve it, and the better it's going to turn out for you. But I have to be like a mirror for you. As I say things, it has to be things you're already thinking. It has to be things that are just right there. So as we talk, I didn't even bring up anything. It's like you came up with everything. And that's really what a true mentor should be able to do. Is a lot of people, they're like, you got to act like a light in the world, you know? But actually, I'm trying to act more like a mirror. I want to reflect exactly what you're looking for to help you to get there, to help you to be able to have a clearer picture of it, to help you to be able to see yourself in the way you want to see yourself.
Okay, so if I want to be a hot dog eating champion, you're going to be like, I'm going to help you get there. And if I want to be like a people watcher and I sit at the corner of the street just watching people all day, you want to help me get there.
I want
Doesn't
you
really
to
matter.
be the best people watcher that ever people watched. Okay, Chuck?
Wow.
But here's the thing too, is oftentimes, sometimes you got this idea that I want to be the hot dog eating champion. But you really don't want that. You think you do, but you haven't really thought it out all the way. And so I want to be that mirror guiding you to help that person realize, oh, actually, as I'm helping you become the hot dog eating champion, that you're actually realizing that's not actually what I want.
But that's only based off of what they're telling you, right?
You got it. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
This is where the skill level and the difficulty comes in. Is you have to, from what they're telling you, be able to figure out what they really want. That's your responsibility as a leader, as a coach, as a mentor. And here's the thing today, that the second thing that kind of differentiates the Leadership Society of Arizona is everyone who's mentoring, they've actually gone through changes in their own life, a lot of education in dealing with people and working with people in business and in their personal lives. And so everyone's very well trained. You know, a lot of times you go to organizations and you got maybe like the lead coach and they have tons of experience, but the rest of the coaches, you know, they're just like starting out. But the thing about leadership is you can't teach someone to mentor another person. You can't teach someone, you know, that leadership. They actually have to develop it. And you're only as good of a mentor or as a leader as you have actually done in your own life. You know, if you're not following these principles and ideas that you are discussing with others, if you haven't really accomplished the things that other people want to accomplish in their life, you're not really going to be the best at being able to mentor someone else at doing it. So, you know, to be a mentor and a leader, it really takes a lot of training. It takes a lot of development of your own life is what I really mean. And it takes a lot of, you know, going out there and actually doing it. And you have to have a lot of understanding of others. And so, you know, one of the things with LSA is that most of our coaches are PhDs. They've all been doing this for at least 3 to 4 years before they're able to coach, right? And before they actually start coaching. So the level of training and I guess development is really the better word of the coaches really makes us stand out. When you look at the coaches that we have, it's part of the reasons why we can't grow so quickly, because you can't just like all of a sudden create a good mentor or coach or just hire one. It's very rare to find it. And most of the people at LSA, they could have went on and got very high paying jobs and whatnot, but because of their qualifications, but they actually chose to want to develop this and help high school students, developing professionals, whatnot, because they felt it was more value to society.
Right. Okay, and so that's basically you're saying that because you're so qualified, because you've got all this training, that makes it so you're equipped to understand what people want and where they want to go. But I find that PhDs generally are people that have just kind of focused on one area for a particular point in time. Unless you're like a psychology major, you haven't really interacted with a whole lot of people. So what is it about the PhD that makes them qualified?
What's really interesting here is that our studies and in the training or development that everyone has taken in LSA, we actually were in the engineering college, which is unique for a leadership organization, but we were teaching honors classes. And so in the university, as we're developing and doing, going through the curriculum of a PhD and whatnot, most of the people who are mentors here, they actually were teaching this honors class and TAing for it and doing the research with it, which the research we're doing is not actually on engineering work. It was actually on the ideas and logic of leadership. And they were able to take the ideas from every different profession and area of expertise. So we had honor students coming in from the medical arena, from psychology, from communications, from business, from engineering, mechanical, biology, every area you can find, we had students coming in, and we would utilize their expertise in the different fields and the people that they knew in the different fields to bring in the research, to be able to show the ideas and the logic that permeates through every industry. Not only this, but we would actually go out and do research as they're going through their PhDs with actual organizations, dealing with actual people in the profession, and finding out in terms of business what's most efficient. And this is what the last thing I think that makes LSA really unique is that a lot of leadership organizations, they're coming from areas that aren't like engineering or well, a lot of them are coming from business, but not from the perspective that we were at. Ours wasn't in people development. Ours wasn't in actual, dealing with leadership, the leadership industry. It was more of dealing with the research side, coming in, and the implementation side, the actual doing projects, the actual actually implementing these ideas in the industry and documenting its success. In the leadership field, oftentimes they'll teach you ideas and principles and try to develop people, but they don't really measure the success on what was the impact of the leadership training. We actually were implementing this on projects and looking at the results and seeing what the results were. And so we have more than 25 years of documented performance in the industry on increasing efficiency, on minimizing risk caused by people, on actual adding value, getting things done within budget, on time, and we're able to actually see what principles really worked when you get out into the world. And so now bringing that into high schools, bringing that into helping people develop, it's a different perspective, right? And so it actually, our focus in what we're looking at is different than most leadership groups.
Okay. Yeah, so you took these principles, these concepts from the world's most successful research group for supply chain and procurement services. You researched all the different successful companies around the world, and you found that all of them apply these same leadership principles. You've applied this on $6.8 billion worth of projects in all across the world. And you have like a 95% customer satisfaction rating, which adds to your credibility. So you use all of those principles from your business to apply it into success coaching, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for explaining to me the difference between Leadership Society of Arizona and other success coaching and leadership organizations out there. We hope you enjoyed. Thank you for listening to the Logic and Life Coaching Podcast. It would be great if you could take a moment to write us a review. For any questions, comments, or topics that you would like to have addressed on the show, email the team at leadaz.org. To learn more about the Leadership Society of Arizona, visit us at leadaz.org.